Greetings, everyone. This is the State of Tennessee Inmate Disciplinary Oversight Board public meeting for August the 19th, 2026. I will announce our board members who are present this meeting. Virtually, we have Ms. Doyle, we have Mr. Sharon, we have Mr. Lindsay, we have in present, we have Mr. Frank, we have Mr. Carr, and myself, Vice Chairman Dunn, and Executive Director. That gives us a quorum for this meeting. If you all would join me in prayer, we'll get things started. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the opportunities you've given us to serve. Thank you for this committee, this board, the job that we're doing, the effect we're having, and the progress that's been made. Lord, we continue to seek your guidance, seek your strength as we continue your efforts of justice, and we ask your protection on all those involved here and inside each prison. Be with the staff, be with the inmates. We ask you to be close and near to all those involved. Would you give a special touch to those who are seeking your favor, seeking your face? Give them comfort and joy, knowing they're there to serve you no matter what their capacity. And Lord, give them hope this morning. We ask your blessings on this meeting. May everything we do be acceptable to you in your sight. We pray for our leadership. Lord, we ask your blessings on our governor, on our lieutenant governor, and on our Speaker of the House as they continue to lead this state. We thank you for the state of Tennessee and all the blessings of life that you've given us here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. At this time, I'll ask our Executive Director, Brother Stahl, to continue on with the proceedings.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate that. Okay, should be a relatively short meeting today. Appreciate everybody being here. Let's start with our first item on the agenda, which is the review and approval of minutes from our last public meeting in June. The video is on the website. The meetings have been previously distributed. If there's no discussion or comment on any of those, I'd be happy to entertain a vote to accept those and move them into the record.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, move to a vote. All in favor of approving those minutes from June into the record, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody. They were available to you as always in your inbox. They'll be on FileNet as well, but if you've got any questions about them, just please reach out. Okay, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about the last 30 days. First, a shout out as always to our appeals subcommittee. Continues to do really strong work. I appreciate them meeting as often as they do. Couple of appeals last month that were granted. That paperwork's been sent over to TDOC. Several appeals were denied. That paperwork has been sent to the inmates and is being processed through TDOC as well. We distributed 1,540 new incidents for review last month. As we know, those will increase because some of those incidents have multiple inmates attached to them. So quite a few. I appreciate everybody's work getting through those. We are still attempting to get some training for the new TOMAS 2.0 that's being deployed at the end of the year. We requested some training from TDOC, have not heard back on that. So we'll continue to engage with them and see if they can get with us and allow us to take a look at that stuff. Yeah.
I think that's an important point to bring out. We distribute 1,500 cases, but by the time we're looking at about probably 2,700 inmates each month.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
There's many times there's going to always be one, but there's many times 4, 5, 6, however many. So
yeah,
I just wanted to point that out.
No,
it's not just 1,500; it's more.
Yeah, it's always
2,500.
Yeah, it's always more. Appreciate that. It's you guys do a lot of work. You do difficult work, so I appreciate it. Staff appreciates it, and I'm sure the citizens of Tennessee appreciate it very much. We had a couple of good responses from TDOC this last month to inquiries that we sent over to them. Mr. Sharon, I think you found some responses that indicated that TDOC is moving in the right direction on some of the cases you looked at. Is that right? Well, yeah, I think.
Sorry, technical issues are. Sorry about that, brother. Yes, really good stuff. So I sent some stuff in, and within about 2 weeks, they responded. Um, and I think it was, and I sent the email to you. You can share with everybody else. I think there were at least 4 cases that dealt with 6 different inmates. Originally appeared in e-Thomas as dismissals. So I sent in a request for more information requesting why they were dismissed. And the folks at TDOC essentially said that there were administrative oversights and that they had reserved those, and all those cases, except for one that's still pending, resulted in the removal of sentence credits for each one of those inmates. So step in the right direction.
Yeah, great. Really appreciate that. I mean, the more we can ensure that all these incidents are being looked at and sentence credits removed where appropriate, I think it's better. So, thank you, Mike, for always doing that and, holding their feet to the fire with those. I know that there's been some issues with, pending incidents that can't, for some reason, seem to be cleared. I tried to get in touch with the associate warden at Northwest because I think that was one of those facilities that I heard was having some issues clearing their incidents. Haven't heard back, but hopefully you're seeing some movement on those pending cases so they're not sitting there as long as I've heard they are.
Northwest does have a new warden, and then Mike Ward from TDOC has just the assistant. So
Yeah,
I know that they realized there were some issues up there, and I think they're working.
yeah. So hopefully we're going to see some movement up there in the right direction. There was an issue recently. I'll mention this quickly. There was an incident recently with one of the board members' computers. Received an update. Then the computer crashed and went into its BIOS, and he had to bring it all the way to Nashville to get it serviced. If anyone's got any computer issues, please let me know. Some of these updates can really do a number on the computer. So if you have any of those issues, just reach out as soon as you can and we'll get it taken care of.
Michael, one other thing on pending cases, and I've talked to Jerry about this, and he's talked to people. At West 10, you'll see cases that will not clear, and you see where it is a Memphis detainee from the city of Memphis. They're keeping those from operation, something that the Trump administration's doing. They're holding, they don't have enough room in Memphis, so they're holding them. And since they've not been adjudicated, they are, I guess they will be dismissals. They'll just sit there because you can't take time from somebody that's not even been taken care of yet. So
Okay.
I don't know if you see some that just won't move, if you read the narrative, it'll say the Memphis from Memphis detainee is what it'll say.
Okay.
So just so you're not wondering why this won't clear, it's not going to clear. Because they've got a Thomas, but they've not been sentenced. And anyway, that we need to probably look into a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening with those inmates.
Yeah.
Some of the West 10 non-movement.
But these are inmates who are being held and are committing Class A's while they're just being held. So that's something.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's
But they're not.
No,
What Jerry told me, they can't have. I mean, it's basically. I don't know. I think they take maybe their jail time, their good time from the jail, but you can't take months from.
I understand, but I mean, that's something
But it's
we'll have to
something
make sure it follows them.
Right. I would like to know about it myself. That's
If
why I
there
was
is-
mentioning it.
If there is a sentencing opportunity later on, then retroactively remove
Yeah, we
credits.
need to find out about that. Yes, right.
Okay, the performance audit team continues their work. Appreciate everybody's stuff. That's going well. You know, just continue to update your cases month to month, clear your pendings, send in your inquiries, all that kind of stuff. And as that audit gets updated, we'll give out more information. That's it. So that's the last 30 days. Any questions, issues on any of that stuff? Okay, moving on to outstanding matters. The new deputy hire continues to move forward. We've received in return a satisfactory job description from Human Resources. we'll look through that, make sure it covers everything we're looking for, all the minimum qualifications and the competencies we'll need from that position. And then we should be ready to start posting that probably before the end of the month or beginning of next month. So that continues to move forward. We are still waiting on the Tennessee Corrections Institute to finalize the licenses that we will need to create the dashboard for the local county jails. And that initiative that we continue to push. Everything is set up with the dashboard except the licenses. But once that's finalized, we'll be able to start traveling to the different counties and getting other counties. Anderson County is already on board. The other counties will come online once those licenses are finalized. Continue to meet with legislators on the statutory recommendations we discussed last year. Hopefully we'll be able to have more conversations as session gets closer. Obviously, things are busy at this time of year with the legislative races that are happening, the new administration that's going to be coming into the governor's office, school starting, and some of those other things. But we'll continue to engage with them as the year moves on, and hopefully we'll have some good news come next session. Finance and Administration has begun setting their budget meetings for all the divisions. So I will be sending something out probably next week. And what I'd like to do is set up a time that we can meet internally as a board and just discuss if there's any budget requests or budget changes that we'd like for FY 26-27 or 27-28. Not something that has to happen right away. Our meeting probably won't get set for September-ish, so we've got some time, but just start thinking about that now. If you have any budget requests, budget ideas, now's the time to talk about those and start thinking about those. And that's it for outstanding matters. Any questions, issues on any of that stuff? Okay, great. All right, moving to our next item. The submission into the record of initially reviewed incidents that have been determined to meet procedural compliance and approval of days removed from inmates from the last meeting. So we can see in May that we removed 53,400 days from inmates. There were 1,500, more than 1,500 incidents that were distributed. Actually, that should only be 587. There's a misprint on the incidents approved. It says 1,587, but it should just be 587. That's how many were approved. That's how many days were removed. In June, we distributed 1,393 incidents. And again, 587 of those were approved, which means the rest of them were either not approved, needed to be changed, or reclassified as Bs, or continued to be pending. So essentially, we see about a third of the incidents, maybe about 40% of the incidents on each month that are that can be described as approved. That is an improvement from certainly from 2 years ago when we first started, certainly an improvement from last year, but nowhere near where it needs to be. We change quite a few of the incidents from what they were. So appreciate all your hard work getting that done. And then we will fill in the June days removed number after today's meeting. And for July, I know you're all just starting that review process, that initial review process. But as mentioned previously, that the incidents for that need initial review in July, 1,540, which will rise for those incidents where you have multiple incidents. Okay, any questions about that? We'll make sure to change the incidents approved in May. But other than that, would entertain a motion to submit this report into the record.
Motion to submit. Second.
Made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, move to a vote. All in favor of moving the report into the record, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, everybody, for that. Okay, now we can get into the part of the meeting, which is our dockets, our review of incidents cases from May. And the agenda has our chairman, Mr. Vastbinder, leading us off. Mr. Vastbinder is severely under the weather today, and he significantly regrets not being able to join us. He has asked member Frank to present his docket for him. Mr. Frank, if you're willing to do that, we'll pass it along to you.
For our chairman, Mr. Bassbinder, he has, additional loss of credits, 66, and then, grant of credits back to the inmate after adjudication is 15. And I move to accept this from our chairman. Well, I guess I can't say that, can I?
It's not your doctor.
I guess I
Motion to
can.
accept.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Any highlights that anyone sees from those? I know that we try to get them out as early as we can, so everybody should have already looked at it, but any last minute notes or comments on the docket? Okay, hearing none, move to a vote. All in favor of approving Chairman Vastbinder's docket into the record, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, they will get recorded and action forms will be prepared. Thank you, Mr. Frank, and we will stay with you so that you can do your own docket, sir.
This month I had a loss of credit totaling 70 months and grant of credit of 25. I noticed that TDOC, it seems that they're staying fairly steady. Maybe, sometimes, I understand accidents. I don't know if they're accidents or what they are, but overall, I think I had 12 where I had to take extra time and 5 to get back. So all in all, it's been pretty consistent the last few months for me. And I asked for our board to approve my docket.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second, any comments? There are still some that I see, Mr. Frank. I just wish some of these guys, I wish the disciplinary boards as well would notice some of these things. I mean, here's at Whiteville, there's one gentleman here who's had 14 priors in the last 18 months, and they still a little bit under what the matrix requires. Wish those disciplinary boards would continue to recognize those problematic inmates and make those changes. So appreciate you guys catching that and making sure that those guys are held accountable.
Sure.
That's just.
I mean, I don't. Who knows how that happens? To be honest with you, it's not like does he have 3 or does he have 2? Sometimes, and everybody's seen those. It's like 12 to 15 is 15 to 18. This is 14. So
Yeah,
at this
that's
point,
a lot.
yeah, at this point, that gentleman, I remember that case. It's flattened out, so it's immaterial.
Yeah. But thank you again for
But
catching that.
I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody just wasn't thinking, or for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here to do.
That's
Make sure.
that's our job.
That's right.
Make sure they do their job.
Okay. All in favor of approving Mr. Frank's docket into the record, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Frank. Okay, next on the agenda is Ms. Wiseman. We are going to move past her for now. We may come back to her in a little bit, but we will go ahead and move on to Mr. Carter's docket.
Thank you. So, my docket here, I have removed 48 months of credit time. I didn't restore any this time. And, of course, I still noticed quite a few pendings on that. And, I noticed on one thing we had, like, Mr. Lee was, like I was talking about, we had, I had 8 or 9 people under one incident. And it seemed like they picked out and had disciplinary hearings to 1 or 2, the rest of them have not had any disciplinary hearing yet, I gotta go back and check it. I don't know if they wanna dismiss them or, drop them to fees or whatever, but I just don't know. It's at Riverdale. I don't know why. Riverdale usually pretty well takes up with it, but I had 9 cases in one incident. And they adjudicated 2 of them, but the rest of them are just still hanging out there.
Okay. If you want to send that information over, I'm happy to contact either the facility or, the commissioner's representative to make sure that they're aware that those incidents for some reason continue to linger, even though it appears that.
I'm gonna check them again to make sure they're not, it's interference with officers. There's 9 of them. And last time they dropped those 2 of me, I'm gonna go back and check again before I send them to you, make sure they don't.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I appreciate it.
But that's all I've got this month. I didn't turn any credits back, but I took away 48 additional.
Yeah, well, it looks like from your docket, I mean, you've got some real repeat offenders here. I mean, this one gentleman, Morgan's got 26 priors.
Yeah.
And for some reason, again, the disciplinary board didn't go to the matrix requirement. So appreciate you catching those. We just need to continue to keep those folks accountable.
Motion to approve.
Motion made, seconded. Any other comments, notes? Mr. Carr's docket? All in favor of approving Mr. Carr's docket for the month, please say aye.
Aye.
Hearing no opposition, motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other notes or comments, Mr. Carr?
No, just that, I mean, I still worry about the pending some, and I go back and check them and the only thing I would say, if they're still pending, if there was some little description in, where they describe what all happened, everything, just say, look at this. I don't know, but just give us a little more indication as to why that they're still pending. Yeah.
You mind if I speak?
No, go ahead.
Does happen quite a bit. I don't know if Jerry was here, he might have some insight on it. That might be something. I noticed that as well. You'll have a case with 7, 2 of them will get actually adjudicated.
Yeah.
You're like, are these, all these other guys in the hospital or where, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they can't, if they're not there to be able to have a deep order. But it's just out of curiosity, why that? Would you know, Mike?
Yes, sir. In times past, what I've seen is there'll be a cluster of an incident and they'll write up everybody on the scene initially. And then internal affairs will come in and evaluate based on footage, milestone or Vicon video. And they'll say, well, he didn't do it. He was just in the mix trying to pull a dude out or whatever. And they'll actually get down to the details of what happened on camera.
They'll get
on
the
video.
they'll get the
And then they'll wind
instigator.
up prosecuting the actual ones who are needing to be prosecuted and drop the charges on the others.
Maybe just not
That
go
could be
back.
what's
or
going
take their-
on, but I've seen that.
Okay.
Well, I pointed that one out because I've never seen that before in this particular case at Riverbend. It's just
Sure. Yes.
oddball, Riverbend.
And I've seen them drop the ball on multiple officers will write up on a certain incident and one of them will get the paperwork, it happens.
That's true.
But I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, even if you're dropping the charges, you've got to clear
Yes, sir.
the incident. You can't just let it sit
Absolutely.
out there as if
That's right.
nothing's being done about it. And that's where we can continue to make sure that they are prioritizing finishing the process.
Yes, sir.
Because when they pick it up and when you look at it, I mean, we got 9 people we got to deal with. Where if they dismissed 7 of them, hopefully we wouldn't have,
Plus, it forces them to go back and make sure that they actually went through with finalizing the people that needed to be
Right.
processed and those that didn't, instead of assuming that, oh, we got everybody and maybe somebody got missed who really should have been part of that charge process. By letting things linger, you, as we all know, you allow an opportunity for things to get missed. And so I can totally see that happening, but I just wish that they would finish the process that they started. I think it's important.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, well, great. Thank you, Mr. Carr. We appreciate that. Okay, moving on to our next presenter, Mr. Sheridan.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, Edie Stahl. For June, the month of June, I reviewed 155 cases involving 238 inmates. Of those 155 cases, 19 are still pending. If you go back to December of 2025, I have a total of 38 cases pending in all. Of these cases I reviewed, 17 were designated as Class B offenses by the folks at TDOC. 3 of them were designated as Class C offenses. I sent TDOC 19 requests for more information so far for the June cases. I also sent 35 follow-up requests regarding information that we'd asked for months and months ago that was never received from TDOC. So 35 of those were sent going back as far as November of 2025. For the month of June, TDOC had already taken away 1,877 months, or a little over 156 years of sentence credits from inmates. After careful review, I found 18 errors, and I'm recommending an additional 110 months of sentence credit reduction and also 24 months of sentence credit reinstatement. Prolific offenders, Mr. Stahl, 2 that jump out. The first one is at Whiteville. They're both at Whiteville. Thomas ID number 570000. I had 20 Class A offenses in the last 18 months. And the second one also at Whiteville, 551618, at 19 Class A offenses in the last 18 months. As far as prisons with the most opportunity for improvement, I would say West Tennessee State Prison and South Central had the most mistakes and or pendings for the cases I reviewed. And barring any questions, that's all I have, Edie Stahl.
Thank you, sir. Really, really great. I'm sure you were gritting your teeth this month with that 24 grant of credits. I know that, you know, that's not your favorite thing to do, but it just goes to show how carefully you're looking at these just to make sure we get them right. And there was at least one case that I can see here where no sentence credits were withdrawn, which is something that we've emphasized the TDOC for the last several years. So it's great that we're catching those and making sure that TDOC doesn't revert back to its habit of taking away 0 credits for these Class A's. So thanks a lot for all your work last month. Really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion made, seconded. Any other comments, questions for Mr. Sheeran? All right, hearing none, move to a vote. All in favor of moving Ms. Sheeran's docket into the record, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, hearing no opposition, the motion passes. Thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to our next presenter, our Vice Chairman, Mr. Dunn.
Thank you, Executive Director. Of the 150 plus cases that I reviewed, I would like to start out by striking 3 from my list today due to a clerical error. It might be a clerical error in the system or a clerical error in my thought process, but at the last minute, Chairman Bassbinder caught these, so I'm glad he did. So I'd like to roll these till the next month, give me a chance to evaluate them. Under Northeast, the second case down, 455373. Ms. Turner, if you'll strike that one until next month. And under Whiteville, the 5th case down, 674651, 674651. And 2 below that is case 488979, 488979. I'd like to strike all 3 of those, roll them till next month, till they can get properly fixed. And that will change my total of credit removal from 261 months taken away to 231 months removed from this month's collection of cases. So it's 231 months to be removed this month. And I could not find a single month that should be restored in certain cases. So I will not be granting any credit back. And of those cases, I got a few jokers as well. You'll see in the number of Class A offenses the last 18 months. One of them had 16. One of them at several had in the high single digits. Another one had 13, another 18, another 16, and one of them had over 20, maybe 24. But again, my pet peeve always erring on the attitude of public safety above all. I know we're dealing with offenders who are convicted felons, otherwise they would not be in prison. But we're dealing with convicted felons who still continue to misbehave and break rules and the law. And I don't know why in some of these cases, the disciplinary hearing officers are giving them the low end of the spectrum for a penalty when the record dictates they should be at the high end of the punishment. So, and again, I invite, as we have before, and as I do probably every month, any disciplinary hearing officer that has a particular reason or articulable instance where they should receive a lesser penalty, please reach out to us and let us know. We understand things are sometimes different in the trenches. But we don't know from this angle, and we have a guideline to go by adopting your metrics. So with all that said, I would like to remove 231 credit months from all those.
Is that pretty much,
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, real quickly, is that, you're seeing, when you're seeing the low, that's pretty much institutional wide, right?
For the most part, yes, sir.
What, have you spoken with
I'll
what
see
is
it in
the
waves.
what's the DHO's, do they leave that as a carrot? That they say I could have taken 18, but I'm gonna take 50? I mean, should we have that conversation with these people so we know what they're thinking? I mean, like
Yes,
you
sir.
said, they are in the trenches.
Yes, what I've seen from time to time and the times I've asked over and over again, we have a history of revolving doors for these positions of the disciplinary hearing officers. Plus, when they're rushed for time and they've got serious amounts of things on their plate because of low staff dealing with what they're dealing with, and they're far behind in their casework. A lot of times, they're pressed into just getting it done. And in my opinion, and what I've seen, failing to realize a true history of the disciplinary history of the inmate. And a lot of times giving different inmates in the same incident, the same punishment, when some of them, according to the matrix, should receive more. And it just varies. Every single case is different.
Right.
And every institution is different. Every day is different because they have different schedules, and nothing is uniform that we think should be because of how each prison is constructed on the inside.
This,
So,
this would be, and this is a topic for a longer time
absolutely.
that I would like to bring up. And this comes down to the Tennessee State our legislature.
Good.
My issue right now, and Chairman, I talked to him yesterday as I was driving, said there was a particular case, and Gary does a really deep dive. Guy had an 8-year sentence, but he misbehaves with his indecent exposures, which we know what that is. And for our audience, we want to bring that up here. And they tacked 2 years on him for 5 indecent exposures. So that gentleman that was going to be a person that was going to be serving 8 years is now serving 18. And these are consecutively, they're doing this. To me, if
It was prosecuted outside.
they were prosecuted outside,
Yes, sir.
and he's not leaving to go to county jail and then back and forth. He's just staying there. So when I look at your ones that are just, and it could also send as a deterrent, like you're not just losing your good time and gonna flatten out. You're gonna be here an extra 10 years of your life.
Paying the charge, yes, sir.
And I don't know, and I know there's been some pushback, either money to hire DAs to actually do this. You have DAs that say we don't have time to do it. You have the judges that are not that interested in it. And to me, this is to keep the most violent people that are going to harm Tennesseans, which is our job, off the streets. These people need to have a person that is, to me, in those places where those prisons are, that is solely responsible for dealing with prisons. And I know that we're talking financials, hiring an extra DA for that, but to keep the ones that misbehave and are proven they haven't learned, that's how we really deal with them. And I don't know how to, and I would love to have that conversation with our legislature to really let them know this guy can do this and keep doing this and showing that he hasn't learned and be still addicted to drugs, but eventually when he gets to the end of his sentence, he gets to walk out. He's done. You know, okay, he's not gonna make parole or probation, but he's flattening. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's a real kicker about keeping Tennesseans safe is to, and I know they go, well, he's got to go back to jail and serve his time, and can county jails handle that? Somehow we need to have that conversation and figure out a solution to it, I think. I don't know if your feelings on that or anyone else. That's the real kicker, not just taking their time, but having DAs and judges doing their jobs
Sure.
too.
Anything for public safety.
Sure.
Discussion.
Well,
Absolutely.
we have had those discussions. Don't forget that a lot of last year, we as a board discussed one of the ways that we could promote just that type of advancement. And when we speak to legislators this year, we present them with our revised legislative statutory changes requiring that anytime there's a felony committed inside of a facility, and the district attorneys are prosecuting it, they don't allow for concurrent sentencing so that those sentences have to run consecutive.
Right.
Because even sometimes when the district attorneys are able to prosecute the cases, in order to move them quickly off of the dockets, they'll present a plea opportunity that will allow for concurrent sentencing. So, you know, as a board, we've discussed that, and in order to assist with the question of what's going to be the financial impact, do we have to just hire additional district attorneys? While that would be probably the A+ answer and the highest return on effect, one of the things that would have a less significant financial impact is just requiring that felonies committed while incarcerated cannot result in concurrent sentencing. And that's something that we talk with legislators about all the time.
Yeah, and I won't, this is a longer discussion for another time, but you've got, I thought it was just the DAs, but it's also some of the judges. We ran, when we were in, I don't know if I should even mention the county. I don't guess I need to do that. But that judge didn't want to deal with them. They didn't want to deal with it. So the DA was dealing with it. There was nowhere to put them in the county jail because these county jails are tiny. So we're kind of running into like all these issues about, you know, is it the DA's not wanting to deal with it? Is it judges not? And then where do you put them? Let's say if they get an indecent exposure for an extra year after they serve their term. Then I was talking with Chairman Bassbinder, then they go back, since it's 3 years and less, they're serving that in the county jail, and the county jail's right. We're at capacity, we don't have where to put them. So it's a huge complex issue that
It is. It's not straightforward, but that
But
doesn't mean.
but as we look at it, we know the ones that are violent in prison, and how many times are they being prosecuted? I don't think a lot of them are being prosecuted.
A lot of them aren't. A lot of them
You know,
aren't.
you see somebody that stabbed somebody and we take their time, but they're still gonna flatten their sentence. If the DA doesn't take that as attempted murder or aggravated assault or whatever, then he's like, okay, I'll flatten out. I'll be out 8 years. What are you gonna do? And so anyway, I know I'm rambling on about it, but to me, that's really,
No, these are
that's
important issues.
really the issue about protecting Tennesseans the most, is to just keep stacking charges until somebody changes their life and realizes this isn't working.
Well, that's one big way.
That's what
but-
we want.
But I mean, we're also on the front lines of doing two things. Number one, we're making sure they are being held accountable while they continue to remain
For their time,
incarcerated.
for their good time.
For,
right.
for their
That's our
time
real
currently.
job.
And then secondly, we're identifying these issues and we're identifying specific inmates that we think need to be, watched more carefully. We're sending that over to the Board of Parole. We're engaging with legislators on statutory changes. So it's a complex issue, but,
Right.
you know, it's good that we're taking the reins of it, and making sure that it does get lost in the mix. So, good discussion, good ideas. Mr. Carr, were you saying something and then?
Well, I just brought up the point that they had talked about your A plus deal, an extra DA for every 14 prisons. That was what I was, but you brought it out.
Yeah, and that would be great. I know that's legislation that's been presented several times, but you're exactly right.
You have to have the courts that won't deal with it.
Well, the courts, but also the financial impact of
On the
that.
locals?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard, but we need to continue to remind people that based on what we're seeing every day for the work that you all do, you know, we're identifying these issues, we're letting the legislature know the ideas that we think are necessary to continue to make these improvements. But the front lines are you all continuing to say, regardless of what happens with secondary prosecution, we're gonna make sure that they're held accountable for this sentence, for the actions they commit today.
Yeah.
And that's all we can really do. And then everything else would be secondary to that. So, but all good ideas. But I mean, you know, Mr. Dunn, I mean, you can see here, you know, over at special needs, there was an assault incident and only 3 months were removed. And you're making sure that, you know, that incident doesn't only have those 3 months, but 24 months, it's probably more appropriate. So that's what we do. And then we continue to engage on the other stuff and hopefully we'll continue to see, you know, improvements there. But
Sure. Well, I make a motion to approve.
okay, motion made.
Second.
Seconded. Any other discussion or comments from Mr. Dunn's docket? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving the docket into the record, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, hearing none. We will create the action forms and get those out. Thank you, sir. Okay, and our final docket is from a board member who's you know, also having some medical issues. Dr. Carpos is not with us today, but oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Doyle, your docket is next. I apologize.
No, that's okay. Good morning, y'all. So I have two dockets. I have a from May docket and from June docket. I'm gonna do the May first. Sorry. So in May I had 256 cases and I'm taking away 261. No, taking away 150 credit times. And then I'm giving back 32.
Okay, great. Any highlights or comments for those May incidents that you'd like to talk about?
I have a lot I'm going to send you that are prolific offenders. I'm going to send those to you. I have a bunch of those from May and June. I have a 24 Bs. I had one that was taken down to a C. And then
Wow.
I had 11 pending from May.
What was that offense that was reduced to a C? Do you remember?
Hold on just a second. I will find it. Interference with duties, officer's duties.
Okay. And I can see that there was one over at Whiteville where there were 17 priors for in the last 18 months for the inmate and only 3 months were removed for the RAA offense. But thank you for catching those. I just think that's extreme. And there was, I can see there.
Morgan, they took that 15, they didn't take anything and he had
Yeah.
15 zeros.
Yeah, that is unacceptable. So thank you so much for catching those.
Yeah, I have a lot of zeros this time again too. I don't know why I keep getting those, but I have lots of zeros.
Yeah, that's, it's what we're here to do. So, you know, they will quickly revert back to bad habits of allowing for zero sentence credit removals, if we don't continue to, let them know that we're not going to permit that. So thank you very much for always catching those. Okay, any other comments on your May docket?
No,
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of moving Ms. Doyle's May docket into the record, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion passes unanimously. And would you like to go through your June docket as well, Ms. Doyle?
yes, so I had 250 cases in June and I'm taking 95 away and giving back 3. So I was less on the giving back this time, but I did have a lot of zeros again. And I do have a lot of prolific offenders. They just took the right amount of time away from them, but I had some with 25. I had one with 20 write-ups, a write-up. So there's a lot there. It's almost like those people need to be retried and time extended because they're not getting any better. I have 29 pending. Had another one taken down to a C, which was let's see if I can find it. A DRS. It was a Frank was. Lee, what was that DRS? Sorry, off the top of my head, I don't know all my codes.
DRS is drugs.
I'm looking.
DRS
I
is
have
a
the book in front of me.
DPO. Drug possession.
DRS,
Drugs.
drugs.
Drug.
And they took it down to a C. And I had a lot of guilty verbal warnings, which as the first docket I sent out, I had them on there. I had forgotten that we're not allowed to take those out, but I had a lot of guilty verbal warnings this time on both sockets. But other than that, that's what I got.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Doyle. And just remember, if you ever have questions, even if it's reduced to a C, or it continues to be pending, and you want more information, please let me know, and we're happy to, ask that of TDOC for, a further explanation on those, or to just let them know that these pendings need to be cleared out. So, appreciate you staying on top of those. That's, really important. Again, I mean, you know, nothing should remain unfinished, ever.
Well, I would say the same thing as Lee and Dale had said earlier. I had a bunch that we probably all got the same case and ended up with 10 or 11 offenders, and some of them are pending and some of them got heard. So I agree with them. We have a lot of pending that shouldn't be, that they need to go back in and fix.
Absolutely, yeah. And I appreciate you sending over those prolific offenders as well. I know the Board of Parole appreciates that, when we can give them all the information they need to make the most informed choice, whenever these inmates do get in front of them. So, thank you. Okay, any questions from Ms. Doyle's June docket? Okay, would entertain a motion to move that docket into the
Motion
record.
to approve.
Motion made.
Second.
Seconded. Any comments or discussion on the motion? All right, all in favor of moving, Ms. Doyle's June docket into the record, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Doyle. And our final presenter, could not be here today, but she has asked, board member Mr. Carr to, present, her conclusions. So I will give him an opportunity to do that.
It looks like, yes, thank you. So, Mr. Director, it looks like hers is for May here, and it looks like that she took away 88 months and 20 days of these, the ones that she adjudicated here. It looks like they're mostly from one facility there, but that's what I mean. I won't present that for the way it stands, 88 months and 20 days. If you have any questions, we'll go over that. Present this as Dr. Carpos's report for this month.
Okay, anything that anyone sees, in that docket that they'd like to have clarified before we move to a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion made to approve. Second?
I'll second.
Seconded,
Yeah.
okay. All in favor of, Dr. Carpus's docket as presented by Mr. Carr, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that motion passes. We will make sure that those action forms get presented. Okay, and I think we, may be able to do our, final docket that, we didn't get to earlier, which is Ms. Wiseman's, docket. Ms. Wiseman, would you like to present your docket for May?
Good morning. Sorry, guys, I had some issues this morning, but yes, I would love to. Pretty straightforward. I'll just present it, and does anybody have any questions?
Okay, any questions for Ms. Wiseman's, May docket?
No, I'm sorry, June.
Oh, are we doing June?
I think so.
I have May and June. I have two
Yes.
documents.
I'm sorry. Can we hold May?
You want to hold May? Okay, yeah, absolutely. All right, so taking a look at Ms. Weissman's June docket, any questions for anyone on those? Okay,
Motion to approve.
motion made,
Second.
seconded. Any comments or issues, for anyone? Okay, all in favor of approving the docket as presented for June, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Any comments or, any highlights, Ms. Wiseman, from the past month that you'd like to, send along to TDOC or comment on, today?
I just found a lot of mistakes with West Tennessee in particular. They just don't seem to use the matrix when they're deciding their hearings, but that was the main thing that stuck out.
Okay, we will be sure to, let them know that they need to improve. We've heard that from a few board members that, they're not quite where they need to be, so, thank you for that. And thank you for catching all those zeros. We mentioned it a couple times, but the fact that, we're more than 2 years into our review process and, we still have hearing officers that are allowing for, zero removal of sentence credits for Class A's is, you know, an important part of what we do. So, thank you for catching those.
Yes.
Okay. That is all we have for the dockets for the meeting. We will give a few minutes for public comment. There's no one in the room. I don't see any members of the public online. So we'll move to closing notes. Our September meeting. How does everybody feel about keeping the meeting where it's set for currently for
16th.
for the 16th of September? Does that still work for, well, actually, the first Wednesday would be the second, so are we doing the third Wednesday? Third Wednesday, okay, so that would be the 16th. Does the 16th still work for everybody of September for our next public meeting? Any issues with that date?
Works for me.
Good for me.
Okay, great. And as I mentioned earlier, I will be sending out something either later this week or early next week, asking all the board members to join on an internal call to discuss upcoming budget matters. So between now and then, just continue to think about that. If there's anything that needs to be discussed during that meeting, we'll set that up for next week.
Still gonna say 9 o'clock.
Does 9 o'clock work for everybody as a start time for September 16th for the next public meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, we'll say 9 AM. Okay, and we'll have the agenda setting meeting on the 9th, the week before, just to finalize all the details, but, for the purposes of right now, you can put on your calendars September 16th at 9 AM. Okay, that looks like everything that is on the agenda for today. Anything else that we didn't get to that anyone feels, they'd like to discuss before we adjourn? Okay, hearing nothing, I will pass it back to our vice chairman for a decision on final adjournment.
Thank you, Director Stahl. Thank you, Ms. Turner, for all your work. Thank you for our board. We appreciate both of you all. Pending no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment for this meeting.
So move.
Second. All right, we have first and a second. I expect we'll have no discussion on that, so God bless you all. This meeting stands adjourned.
It's not debatable.
Y'all be safe going home.
Thank you.